Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 14 of our English 3010 online course. This is the penultimate week of classes for us. And even though I know we're kind of on a track, we're working on Project 4. We talked a lot about it in last week's in-class session. And I kind of gave you guys the week to get oriented and to start working on Project 4. I didn't post a video last week. This week I did want to post a video because there were a few things I thought maybe could use some clarification for your online asynchronous work this week. So in this video, I want to go over your week's work. I also want to highlight some tools that might help you as you're revising your websites. And I want to just pull everything together so that everybody's very clear and gets a little reminder about what you need to do for Project 4. Because that's really the main assignment this week, is to keep working on Project 4. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my Canvas view and we'll get right to it. Okay, so here we are in the week 14 online overview. We are continuing to revise, and write up a few new compositions for this portfolio. This week in class, we really focused on revision of our websites. Whereas last week in class, we focused on brainstorming our unfamiliar genre. This week, we're kind of focusing on those website revisions and your website revision rationale, whether it be on paper or screen, or whether it's a video. So whether it's alphabetic text that you're writing for your rationale, that's a better way to say it, or whether you're making a video. That's what we're going to be focusing on this week. So in terms of tasks, watch your week 14 instructor video, which you're already doing. High five. And there's a bunch of stuff to be reading over. Your Project 4 assignment description, which I'm going to revisit at the end of this video. Any feedback that you're getting from me in Canvas, especially when it comes to Project 3, I'm going to be grading that continually throughout till the end of time. No, just kidding. Until they're all done. I have this article here about revising a website, and it's just a little blog that has some key things to think about when you're revising your website. So I recommend reading through that. And then, of course, reading through your own site to think about what you might want to change now that you're on this side of the semester, as opposed to just starting out when you did your first draft. So in terms of writing, you're making revisions and continuing to work on your unfamiliar genre if you haven't already finished that. So here we are in the week. Nothing's really going to be collected in terms of being due this week, but there's lots to be working on. So one thing I wanted to point out in terms of revising your website is that it depends on what kind of website you have, but there are lots of tutorials at your disposal. So I just went on YouTube and I typed in how to revise a website. And it came up with a bunch of different tutorials, but like depending on the platform you used, there's a tutorial for that, right? So for example, if you want to edit a Wix site, there are tutorials for that. If you are thinking about maybe just doing HTML revisions, there's stuff for that. If you're using Squarespace, there is a tutorial for that. There's even down here, WordPress, more WordPress stuff, just all kinds of tutorials to help you work through your revisions. So I wanted to point that out. I had in mind that I was going to try to post like a mini lesson video on how to revise a website. And really what I found is that it just depends on the platform you're using. So I wanted to point that out in this video. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is I just want to go over Project 4. We went over it in class last week, but now I'm going to go over it in video form so that you have it. So Project 4, the Reflective Portfolio Assignment, as we know, There are lots of things that you can include when you're thinking about your writing and research practices from the semester. We've done a lot of stuff and we've tried out a lot of different techniques and strategies for brainstorming, organizing, drafting, scaffolding. All of this stuff we've embedded into each project as we've gone along. So take a look at this bulleted list to help you think about the things you can write about in both your revision rationale and your reflective essay. So, like we said in class, there are 3 key parts to this portfolio. The revised research guide, so that's revisions to your actual website, and your rationale, so that's 2 pieces of one chunk of this portfolio. Now, options here. First of all, you can decide whether to use alphabetic text and write up a memo detailing all of the changes you make to your website, or you can create a short screen share video where you do like, here's my website. Do you see this? This is new. Here are the things that I changed. A lot like what I do when I'm driving around different websites on my videos for you guys. So it's your choice, whatever you're more comfortable with. You can write it out or you can talk it out. But I will say there are also options for where to place this. You can put your rationale for editing on your site, but keep in mind that your site is a public-facing composition for the internet. And so that rationale is going to be seen by all of your audience, not just me. So you can choose to put it on your website if you want, but you can also choose to just submit it to me separately as a link or as a document in the portfolio uploading space. Your unfamiliar genre. Here again, even though we've brainstormed a couple of different options, you can choose to publish this on your website, but make sure it is labeled as such. Unfamiliar genre, genre from discourse community, genre sample. Any of these would signal to me that that's where your unfamiliar genre is. And again, think about your audience for your website and if they would glean something from it being published there or not. That's going to determine your rhetorical decision. Is this going to help my audience get my purpose? Did you notice I was drawing a triangle in the air? Thinking about the rhetorical situation for your website. Who's your audience? So here again, you could post it to your website or you can upload it as a separate document. That's your choice. The reflective letter should not be published on your website, like not even a little bit. This is just a communication between you and me. So there's no other audience that might be helped by it. So this will definitely be a document that you're going to upload to the portfolio space. So the revised site with either a written memo or a video, your unfamiliar genre, and these things can all be contained in your site if that seems appropriate for your audience, or the website, the rationale, and the genre can be uploaded separately. Your reflective letter should definitely be uploaded separately. Now, this stuff down here, the letter brainstorming and drafting and revision, these are tools to help you generate that 4 to 5 pages that I'm asking for. There's brainstorming questions here to help you. You do not have to address every single one of these questions. You could do some free writing about these questions and it could help you generate some material, but it's not a requirement to answer all 5 of these by any stretch. In terms of drafting and revision, there's just some key things that you definitely want to have. You need a claim for this for this reflective letter. What are you arguing to me about your learning? obviously we're going to have this formatting here. You know, we've practiced with subheadings and guideposts in our paper when we worked on our literature review. Think about these learning outcomes as your subheadings for this letter. And then these 2 bullet points here are sort of like process, how you want to go about supporting and making your argument, your claim, persuasive. Direct reference to the projects, providing evidence from your own writing this semester. Okay, and then we talked about the rubric here. You know, it's broken down into the 3 parts about your revisions and your rationale, thinking about your unfamiliar genre, and these pieces are things that I'm going to be looking for when I read your reflective letter. All right, I think that is about all I have for you walking through this project 4. I'm going to pull back to our full view and close out this video. All right, so we're going to keep our eyes on the prize this week. We are going to finish strong. I see you. I am so proud of you. I know all the hard work that you're doing in my class and in your other classes. And I'm here to support you, so shoot me an email if you need anything. Also, your peer mentors are here to support you too, so make sure you keep in contact with them for support. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.